Okay, still here for the Daily Market Pulse. It's Wednesday, August 20th. So we saw stocks kind of wavering back and forth, but for the most part finishing green in lower volume today. This following the Fed minutes here on this Wednesday. Everything looks good and strong and bullish, still fast approaching resistance levels. However, Dow Jones right at that red line and could go higher. Of course, got room to 17,200 in the Bollinger Band, of course, as well, near 17.1. Based on the channel anyway. But you see all the green candles to the upside at some point with a flat 50, declining 20. Yes, the 8's crossing over. At some point, there needs to be a pause. They could take it all the way up there, then crash or go sideways. But you think at some point right in here somewhere, they may start to slow it down a little bit to provide profit-taking abilities. S&P, same thing, right into the pivot area, 1985 to 1990, still room to 2000 and the upper Bollinger Band, but again, multiple green candles, flat 20, flat 50, yes, rising 8, but still overbought, etc., etc., so we're still looking for some profit taking before a resumption to the upside because everything's still very bullish with no distribution days. Nasdaq at the top of the channel, 45 and a quarter, gap lower in the open, finished a little bit higher. In fact, finished a kind of well, it was actually green earlier, so it may have actually finished red, but I'm going to leave it as green because it was actually pretty strong all day. It doesn't really bother me in any one way or the other. Rising window, 2 consecutive days, Friday and Monday. Monday and Tuesday, pardon me. Monday and Tuesday are providing support levels, including around number 4,500. So everything looks good. That's why I'm thinking there might be a little bit of a drop off, including this one here as well, because of the resistance from the channel alone and some of the pivots and multiple green candles. TSX, for whatever reason, is not providing me a candle. I'm not sure why. It's Wednesday. There should be nothing going on. So I would imagine there's a resistance area in through here, and it might be sideways to higher. Well, there it is right there. So it actually gapped lower like the NASDAQ did and finished higher. It's into 15,570, approximately 15,560. Interestingly, it's not showing it up on here for whatever. So it's a little bit higher. Yeah. Making new highs, essentially. So good for the TSX looking strong in this little scoop formation breaking out with immediate support on the breakout level. DAX holding at the 20-day moving average for now, stuck between 20 and 8. Still long, however, into 9,400 and 9,600. There's the push off with the US dollar, Canadian dollar. That should have been yesterday. Today, probably a pause. Not much going on there at all. There is a support level 133 being held for the euro. This actually flushed lower, as I recall, below 133. Treasuries at this point now are fading and holding the 8 moving average, but right around that pivot area, right across 139.13. It's what's holding there for the time being, with room a little bit lower if they choose to weaken and sell off. Same thing with the yen, testing support levels across 97 essentially for the time being. They need to hold. Gold and silver have done the same thing. They have kind of gone lower and flushed lower. Hold on a second. So that's gold. Let me do silver, and then I'll take you back to the yen because I thought that I just saw something flash way, way lower in the yen. So there's gold and silver holding support levels for the time being and hovering. Take it back to the yen, and there it is. So there was a flush. It was holding 97, but flushed right on through. Now it's oversold. Levels below would be all the way back into 96. So that's your target, 96 right now on this move. Let's see, 99. Yeah, makes sense. Box formation. If you look at 99 above, 97.50 below 97.50 would be 150 points or ticks, and then that would take you to 96. That would make sense on a measured move as well. Crude was bouncing today. Reasonable move. Change of contracts this week as well, from a September to an October contract. This is a continuous contract. There should, in fact, be a green candle that would pop and take out most of yesterday's red. There it is. So at 93 support for the time being, oversold, looking for a bounce back toward the 8 moving average at 95 and possibly into 97 and 98. Small caps, like everything else, did bounce, go a little higher. Let's see, is that today? That is today. So it actually dropped lower. I thought small caps were actually holding up. So we went into 116 and faded just a little bit. Stuck now between a flat 50 and a flat 200 with a rising 8 coming right beneath it. That should help and push it higher through 116 back toward 117 plus. We'll see how that works. And the VIX had failed slightly lower once again from 1250 into 12, and I believe that's today. So you're right about 1150 right now as a support area, which we anticipated, and it could go lower into 1050 on the downside.